Right. This is just a little interlude, really. This is Ali's wisdom late night chats. I would say fireside, but I haven't lit the fire yet. But this is like an intro. I was going to do an introduction. I'll come back to this, to difficulties with siblings, parenting. I've got some wisdom I can pass on. And someone asked my advice recently, you know, it's my daughter. I can say that, can't I? She won't be cross. My daughter, who's got two young girls, and when they start getting to that cheeky age, and you think, well, it's just not working. I can take away the iPad, and she's still just so disrespectful and being a right little monkey, the older one. And I think girls around the age of sort of 8, you really start to see their emotions kicking in. A lot more complex, multi-layered humans. I found. Um, yeah, I did find boys were a lot more like black and white, but as it is, I said to her like, you need to lot. I said, don't focus on the punishment and removing items. What's that going to do when you're a child? If you think back to it felt like being a child, and you're battling with a computer game, say, and then someone comes along and just snatches it off you, says, "That's it, you're not having it," and then starts telling you why and all the rest of it. I mean, that would be like two sparks, wouldn't it? It just is if you think back. But what I would do is say, right, you can take that upstairs. You're disrupting everyone else. In fact, I'd tell them another time when they're in a good mood that I'm going to do it, that I'm going to ask them to leave the room. And I'm not going to do any more than that. No getting upset, no stressing out, no telling them off, really. It's black and white. You just say, when you're upset, you take yourself out. And at some point, they start taking themselves out of the room, up to their own room. They have a little moan by themselves and they come back lovely, and always welcome them back. So the idea is that you're focusing on exclusion. You're not going to give them more attention. You're not going to spend. They're not going to be joining in on the fun that's happening or anything because they're disrupting. And you ask them, go to your room, please. Come back when you want to be nice. When you want to like join in and be a part of this. You can join us when you want to join us, but you join us in a similar place. If you're in a bad mood, you go to your room until you feel better. You can't be kicking off. And then when you're in the moment, don't say that. You just go, please go to your room. Come back when you're feeling better. End of. That's it. That's all you have to say. And they'll strop off to their room and they'll come back, hello. And you just don't mention it again. Just helping them regulate their own moods. Because it's bloody useful, isn't it? I mean, as an adult, it's good to just stop for a minute, take yourself off, have a little think. Because once emotions kick in, you're not going to have a rational conversation with that person. You're not going to resolve an argument in the middle of an argument. I worked out years ago. There's no point discussing it while you're annoyed with each other. Take half an hour. I had a partner once who used to say, let's do a task. He'd get us to do a task together, like build a rockery, not talk about it. We'll do something together, active, and we'll talk about it later. That really works. And every day just seems better, you're less stressed out. Yeah, you just exclude them. Children hate being excluded. So, and what we do is we're doing everything to pander to this child we're thinking like, if I could just please them, everyone will have a lovely day. And it's a no-win battle because they're just children. They don't know what the limit is. They're just going to take what's on offer. And the more you fuss over them and talk to them like panda, are you okay now? It's just like, this is what I'm going to do. You tell them on a good day when you're out strolling and you say, I love you. Just remember that. But I will ask you to leave the room. I mean, that's not the worst punishment in the world, is it? That's it. Not going to give, not going to, in fact, when they're talking to you like a piece of crap, I used to play this game where I'd go like, when you talk to me like that, I'm not responding. If you ask me nicely, I'll be fine. I'll always respond, right? And I'd go, every time I go, where's my, you haven't done that. You haven't done my whatever. And I go, like I'm mute to that. That's what I'm saying without saying it. And they'd laugh, I'd laugh, and they'd go, oh, Mum, could you give me a lift to such and such? And I go, yeah, I can actually, no problem at all. And rewarding every time they ask you nicely and you respond the way they want. They're not going to get a response and demand it from you. They're going to get it from asking nicely. And the incentive for them becomes wanting to be part of this family and what fun you're having and get on with everyone. And they have that option and to be civil, but they don't come in and then bring it all back down again. Because in life, no one's going to tolerate it, are they? You're going to have to deal with it yourself, manage your own emotions, and you're helping them later on. And what happens is the triangle changes. This is what I was saying to this person. The triangle changes. So now their incentive is to do what you want rather than the other way around. They're needing something from you. They want to be included now, not you asking them to change their ways. It's like you can't be included then because that's how it is. And then they have that choice and they do want to be included. I think that's probably one of their biggest motivations is to get your attention. And to have attention when it's all lovely automatically shifts the focus in the triangle to them wanting to engage nice, civilly. All right? It works really quickly. It's instant shift of dynamics, right? And I thought it's such a good thing to pass on. I should make a video for anyone who's thinking, why won't my kids do what I want or whatever? They're just children. They're being children, they're playing. If it's annoying you, give them a space they can play loudly and not annoy you. Take yourself to another. Like if I was annoyed with them, I'd say, right, I'm taking 5 minutes now on my own. And I'd go to my room for 5 minutes on my own, sit down and get my head clearer because they're overloading me. They're just expecting. They don't have a limit. They're children. They don't have a boundary of yet. Remember, you're the parent. And you say, no, I'm overloaded now. I need 5 minutes. And also, if the parents do it, so say you're falling out with your partner in front of the kids, make it a normal thing that all of us are going to do this. We're all going to take ourselves off. We're not doing shouting in this family. It's a stressful place to live for those that are in a really lovely mood. The impact on everyone when one person's in a bad mood. I've noticed this when you've had a partner, it's like now you're reliant on their good mood because, my God, it affects you, doesn't it? You know? So, yeah, I think that was some good advice that I learned from being a parent. I've done 2 generations of parenting. I brought up 3 when I was young, and then I had one when I was older. So, he was quite an only child, really, a lot of the time. But yeah, so, and I had twins. So yeah, and they're all lovely humans in the world. But you learn these things along the way. And the thing is about being at the age of a nanny now, I thought, well, pass on your tips if you've got anyone. Come on, don't keep it to yourself now. Share the love, all right?